Hey everyone, it's FallenDice, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Adventures with FallenDice. Today, we finished up with the Ender, which was my big project for the server, just to make it so we could get our experience quickly, enchant our items, and everything like that. Now that we've got that done, it's time to start thinking not thinking, but start moving ahead with my plans for what I'm going to do here in this base. So I've showed you before, so we can bring this up. You can kind of see the map here, how this jungle is literally a tiny jungle compared to like the large biomes that you get, surrounded by desert and water. So my plan for this is in this area right here, I'm going to build a kind of jungle temple, maybe a little bigger than the normal ones out there. I'm going to kind of play around with it, see how we want to do it. And inside the contraptions, instead of leading you to a uh, chest with loot, is going to open the way to a Indiana Jones style thrill ride to get to the real base. And I'm going to throw in a couple little puzzles and things because it wouldn't be like a true Indiana Jones thrill ride without some puzzles, and maybe we can find a way to get some, so we can get some mob spawner. If I can find one nearby, maybe we can find a way to get it to empty min, so I kind of get a little scariness of some mobs at you. Um, some rail carts, some secret passages with rail carts, so it kind of looks like you're about to crash into something, and then last second thing opens up, you slide through. Those are my plans. Where we're going to be heading, and we'll start heading over this way. And you know what? I haven't worn my new armor yet because I don't like going through all the portals with it. This is my diamond set of armor I've enchanted. Not too shabby. I think that's, yeah, we'll go with that. It's a looting sword, but it's the sharpness as well. Take you guys off because we're about to go through the jungle and into scary places at night. So getting decked out wouldn't be bad. One sec. And we're back, and we have a thunderstorm going on. Whoa. That is how close the lightning strike just came from hitting me. Wow. Alright, so we'll head over here. And I'm going to try as best I can to explain my idea for what I'm doing here. I got some. It's going to be a long-term project. I know back when I did like Better Than Buildcraft stuff, I tried to like accomplish things in each episode. I didn't like, stringing things along. This is not going to be one of those kind of projects. This project is going to take a long time. And I'll explain why as we get closer. I probably shouldn't go with the sword at these guys just because in hardcore they do more damage. Whoa. Who's hit me? I forgot you have diamond armor. Gotta love it. Anyway, because I'm getting distracted by mobs attacking me. I may have to re-enchant my sword. I was happy getting a looting sword. Maybe I'll just enchant another sword. Because I like having the extra things like Enderman. I love Enderman in a rainstorm. They're so funny. But yeah, I like having other things like fire aspect on the swords and stuff. Along with the high damage, or even like knockback sometimes when it comes to fighting creepers. But yeah, we'll see. All right, so we're getting over here, and here now we're coming up on our next section of jungle, and this is the large biome version of the jungle. If I pull up the map here real fast, make sure I'm not going to get killed by anything. Yeah, you can see now this is going to be a fairly large one. And there's actually is a the jungle temple that I discovered back over there. I took the 3 round stones out of there. So here's where it gets fun. Alright. So our fun little tunnel from over there going underground all the cool different features I have a plan on building into it are going to lead us somewhere inside of this jungle. Now it's going to take a lot of TNT because I plan on hollowing out probably up to within 2 or 3 blocks of the surface and then all the way down to bedrock a ginormous cavern. And this ginormous cavern is going to be like this lost, valley of ancients. I'll call it ancients because aliens just sounds cliche. So this lost valley of the ancients buried deep underground. And so I'm going to have, at the center of this is going to be this ginormous ruined temple. And I plan on doing a lot of research online, going to like the Mayans and the Incas, and I'm going to find what I think is the coolest looking of them, and I'm going to build it underneath the ground. And that's why I'm planning on building this up to like almost within the surface. It's because I'm going to need a lot of space to be able to build it and make it look decent. So it's going to be huge and large because at the very top is going to be a nether portal. Four nether portals grouped together, kind of like how we have in Spawn. And I apologize for the sniffling. I'm just getting over a pretty bad bug that I had, so I'm feeling decent right now, but I still got a little bit of stuff caught up in the system. So yeah. And then we've got a creeper hiding over there. And my phone's ringing. Alright, sorry about that. Go grab my my experience. Alright. So anyways, yeah, and I'm not necessarily standing at the center of where this is going to be, but alright, so yeah, so we've got this giant, and I'm talking giant, because the base of the pyramid could end up being 40 to 50 blocks wide, and it's just going to be in the center, like you're going to have to work your way to get to it. Plan on having like maybe a giant river flowing all the way through it, lots of mini types of ruins and stuff, maybe some type of houses and things. If I can, I'm going to try and lure some villagers down there, so maybe it can even be a lost civilization that's flourishing underneath there. That, like I said, that right there is going to be a big project of itself, just to flesh this thing out. So I'm going to be doing a lot of TNT work so I can really have jagged edges inside the cliff. I don't want it to just look like I mined a big hole in the center of it. Now, like I said, at the top we're going to have a portal. And this portal is going to lead to another part of the nether. And in the nether it's going to become very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like in a hospital. Not static, but maybe static. Very, very clean. I'm probably going to build the entire thing out of iron blocks and stuff. And it's going to be like very technological looking. Because this ancient civilization, these ancients as we'll call them, were also technologically advanced. So once you get through these ruins, and like I said, I don't want to call it aliens, but we'll just call it ancients. This portal then is going to have a room that you come into with tunnels going off in the 8 directions. You got the 4 cardinal, northwest, southeast, and then a northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. Each one of those will be leading to another portal. And it may only be, like, I'd say 10 blocks away from the middle portal. The tunnels will be like 10 blocks, 10 blocks, 10 blocks. So it's going to be a very small little room. But you're thinking those 10 blocks is going to take you almost 100 blocks away. Maybe further, because some of these are going to be rather large. Each one of those areas is going to be the technological base of operations of a different type. So we're going to have, and now that I can actually start talking about what we're going to be doing on the server. We had always planned on going with Better Than Wolves. Originally we'd want to do Better Than Buildcraft. Better Than Buildcraft no longer supported, so then we were going to go Better Than Wolves. We started talking with people having to do with, if and when Better Than Wolves finally would come, some of the functionality, playability, all kinds of different things having to do with that. So it came down to a server vote. And the winner, and we'll kind of say it was kind of like a middle ground, was Buildcraft and Industrialcraft. So that is what we're planning on doing. We're going to be putting Buildcraft and Industrialcraft on the server. And then on top of that, we're going to be tweaking things ourselves. And that is going to be the burp mod. And the burp mod will not be released. It's not going to be supported. Uh, all all people that play on BurpCraft basically agree that they will not release this. Anyone that does pretty much can stop calling themselves a BurpCrafter because terms of service, that kind of thing. So this is for BurpCraft only, but it's going to have a lot of tweaks that give us some of the functionalities that we liked from other mods. Not like direct copies, complete redone, with using ideas and stuff. So that should make things a lot cooler as well. We've already done a few of those things, kind of like being able to do this. I love being able to do that. So, so that's some of the things we got planned on. But again, so with that in mind, all these different directions, heading off to these different rooms are going to be to different types of things. So, one room heading off to a power plant, which will be powering all of my things. Another one going off to nuclear reactor, if I ever get around to making a nuclear reactor. Mining facilities, food facilities, husbandry, animal types of things. All these different types of stuff that I want to do. They're all going to be different offshoots out of this central portal. Another thing that I plan on is my food one will be out there. I plan on doing all of my crops underwater in giant spheres. When you portal in, it's going to be like one giant sphere with the portal in the middle, and then often like 4 maybe 8 directions, glass tunnels going off of it into smaller spheres where we'll have like the different items to grow and farm. Be it melons and mushrooms and just all the different types of stuff. So basically, that'll be an entire facility all of its own, completely underwater. And luckily for me, I've got a Respiration 3, Aqua Infinity, Protection 3 helmet now, so I can pretty much, I don't even have to come up from water anymore. I could stay down there forever and I won't die. But I'll still use the torch trick and stuff like that. I just won't have to use it very often. So I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, so I have all these, like I said, this is going to be a monster of a project. It's going to take me probably months, to get it all the way done, completed, and then I'm sure I'm going to come up with more cool stuff. And especially as I master more the Industrialcraft and Buildcraft, and different cool things we can do with those. So my first thing that I'm probably going to do, and I may start working on that right here shortly, is the entrance to our Indiana Jones thrill ride. We'll call it the thrill ride. Different parts of it using mine carts and things, and other parts, the puzzles and stuff. So that'll be our first thing we're going to work on. And then, of course, we got to work on the tunnel and the thrill over there. I've already started collecting tons of... I don't think this is where I want to go. I've already started collecting tons of... As I completely draw a blank here. Yeah, I've already started collecting tons of TNT. Our new town mob farm is awesome for that. Yeah, I was going the wrong direction. So I've started collecting that. So that'll be a fun episode where we're just going to go through, kind of start laying it out, connect a bunch of redstone to it, throw a lever, and watch just a crap ton of explosion. Go through, pick up what we can find, level it all out, throw in some more. But part of the reason, like I said, for doing that is I want the jagged, uneven look of the cavern. I don't want it to look like someone dug it out. I really want it to look like this is something that was kind of almost formed underneath. So I'll start, it'll kind of be a little rounded towards the top, moving its way down. But it'll be fun. And yeah, so I think we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna head back to my base here. I got a couple things I need to do here on the server real fast, and then I'm going to go and kind of do some studying of some jungle ruins, some smaller ones, some that I can recreate. Because I don't necessarily know if I'm going to do like the vanilla one that comes with Minecraft that you find out in the jungles, or if I want to make something new and unique. So we'll see. And then once that happens, we got to start farming the materials. So what I may do is I may need to create out in the desert some cobblestone, some mossy cobblestone, which I have two spawners out there, so I can probably harvest all that right now. They're probably actually completely full. We can actually even look at that right now. And then set up a farm for generating the stone brick, the mossy stone brick, and the cracked stone brick. So let's see what we got going over here. I think this was my first one. I have two. I don't know if I've showed these yet. Here we go. So here's number one, and here's number two. One of these, I think this is the Skelly, and he's a zombie. And I'm pretty sure standing about right here that they both work. So eventually, my intention is to have this set up as a mob farm. This is a desert. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. But one of the things of our server is that mossy will spread from around a spawner. So you can see it's already started doing that here, as long as you're in range of it. So I can use that to my advantage to start farming the mossy cobble. And since I have two of them right here, makes it a whole lot easier. I just have to keep replacing the cobble. And then I may do something having to do with the bud switch and some pistons and stuff to allow the smooth brick to keep growing, and then I just kind of go in and harvest it, or kind of like the uh, say the one on the server, they got just a big surface with water on top of it, and you basically just chop it down, the water pushes it over. For the cracked stone brick, it's lava. So I'm going to come up with some ideas for that, some ways to start generating all those, because I want to use a lot of that in my design for the for what's going to be here. And eventually I'll get rid of this. I don't really need it much anymore now that we have our cow breeder, which is phenomenal. But, you know, it's always nice to have a wheat farm. So, anyway, I'm going to take care of some of those things, and I will be back. Alright, well, we'll try this again here. Luckily, I realized I wasn't... my mic was turned off before I got much further into this. Alright, so, here we are in my new creative world. I decided for BurpCraft to start a whole new one just because my other ones had a lot of Buildcraft stuff that I could have used anyway. The stuff would have just appeared, but honestly, I would have been a little disappointing. So yeah, so here we are. What we're doing today, continuing to do today, um, we need stone brick that has been converted to mossy and to cracked. Now, I'm in a regular vanilla creative right now just because I'm having some issues with the burp mod in single. I think I don't have the latest one, maybe, or something. I don't know. So I just went to just a regular standard creative vanilla. And on the server, though, as long as water is one deep over a one deep stone brick, so you got to have the water dripping underneath it. Down, you can see the little animation of the water dripping. It will become mossy stone brick. If you have lava in here and the lava is dripping through, it will become cracked. So we're doing two designs here. First design is going to be for the water, which using the wood because we have a lot of it in the jungle. Obviously for the stone brick I'm going to have to use all stone or things like that because I don't want it to catch fire. So our first thing is to figure out exactly how many dispensers we need, because they seem to actually go quite a ways. So let's take a peek here. I think if I just stick you there and put a button on you, let's see how much you flow. Well, that's pretty much all the way down to there. I guess I just need to have the half of it wired, because if I stick you here and add the water, that should pretty much cover everything. Yep, there we go. And then if we come underneath, we got all the water dripping through, which is good. Now the next thing is going to be to wire it up together, because we want to be able to come up, have like a button here, turn the water off so it all goes away, then we come up and break all the brick, and then have some kind of water collection system down here as well. Again, this is just, I'm trying to, I could make this way more complicated. I could, put in, bud switches, pistons, having it, moving them along as soon as one's made, but technically right now what I need is a lot of stuff, because I've pretty much completed my design for the my temple entrance, and it's really cool. So I want to get building it, but unfortunately I need materials. So let's see. If we take our water buckets, I forget it, I can do this now. I love this. This new creative mode is so nice. Don't have to worry or think about getting any of those programs like NEI or too many items or any of that kind of stuff anymore, because it all does it on its own. I think half the reason people did a lot of those programs, actually, what am I doing? I need to go one more, was just for the convenience, I'll call it. What am I doing? Sorry. The convenience, the creative, not creative mode, but the creative inventory was a little confusing at times, and I understand that. And this new one, it really kind of takes away from that. So it gives you the ability to, easily design and stuff without feeling like you have the need to have one of those other programs. So like I said, I'm kind of definitely excited about the new creative mode here. There we go. Now we'll just come down to grab the items there. Be nice and simple. Let's see. I do need my half slab now, don't I? That I got rid of. But anyway, I know some people will still use it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I just, in my mind, programs like that, they're very easy to abuse. And by abuse, I mean, you're sitting there, you're working on your world. You've got all the materials to do something, but it's back at your base. So you're like, well, I have the stuff for it. It's not like I'm, I'm just spawning in items that I don't have. So you're like, oh, I'll just give it to myself. When I go back to my base, I'll go ahead and throw those items away. I balance everything out. That's the beginning, the slippery slope, I'd like to say, because honestly, in my mind, once you do it, once you make that initial foray into, I won't call it cheating, but that initial foray into the easy mode, the next time you're like, well, I did it this time, and it's it wouldn't hurt that you just won, honestly, don't tempt yourself. Makes it easier, and it makes it more fun, because I think that the fun of the game is in the fact that you have to go out and get all those items. You have to go and put in all that work, so that when you're all done, you can look at what you did and actually have a sense of accomplishment and pride, which some people may just, the accomplishment and sense of pride is from building the item. For me, it comes from the entire experience. So, but anyway, so that's my little rant about those kind of programs. All right, well, this works. This is done. So then basically, once you're finished, you just come up here, and from up here you can take out all the items. And I suppose what I could probably do, I could even just put half slabs. I don't even need steps, because it'll still keep the water from spreading, and that probably make it easier to oops, gotta go this way. Good grief. Easier to reach all the items. Standing out of stairs is not always the easiest thing sometimes. So that is my working design, and I'm pretty much going to do the exact same thing for my lava version. I just, instead of using jungle wood, we'll probably just use stone bricks or smooth stone or something. We'll figure it out. We'll find something. Maybe brick. Yeah, brick would work nice. I do have clay. I'll make it out of brick. That'll kind of look cool. Kind of a working. And I'll have them both next to each other, so they'll be running. And then when I need to, I just go over there, harvest, and then come back. So, all right. Well, that's design done. So I'm gonna head back into BurpCraft, and we'll go ahead and start building it. All right. So here we are, and I had just finished harvesting. Um, both both of the mob mob spawners gave me just over a stack of mossy stone. I got almost a stack of mossy stone bricks out of my design, and just over half of a stack of this cracked stone brick. So I'll show you what we did. We did all the design work over in the creative world, so I came over here and kind of put it together. Only difference between the water and the lava, of course, is the lava does not spread as far as the water. So um, I'm fine with this. Like I said, I got 37 cracked brick out of the setup right here, which is just fine. Water, I only needed to, of course, use the 2 dispensers for everything, and you can already see that we're getting quite a bit. We'll head underneath, take a peek. And it seems to be working really well, actually. There you can see already we got a ton of mossy, and already a ton of cracked again. This works really fast. A lot faster, honestly, than down here. Because since I harvested, I can see a few, but it'll be close. I should be able to get the materials that I need. But I have decided, time-wise, we are pretty much close to what I want to do for this episode. So I'm thinking that this episode was more of a what we plan on doing, and then build a couple little things to start giving us the items we need for it. Give me all of the building materials I'm going to need. So we'll head over here, and what I'll do before I end this is we'll jump over to my creative world, and I will show you the a sneak peek, a glimpse of the design. And what my plan is this is gonna it's rather large. I think it's at least 25 by maybe 20, so it's pretty big. It's not bigger than the normal jungle ruins. I think we'll have it facing this way, so you'll come out of the portal, and it'll be like pretty much like right here, kind of where I got my enchanting set up right now. I'll have to kill part of my wheat farm, but I don't really have a super big need for it. Again, it's just one of those things that you always make, and I want to actually make a more automatic version for harvesting as well. This was just kind of for the beginning, so I'll probably cut it off maybe about here, leave it smaller. I got to do a bit of leveling, and we'll have it sitting right over here. But with that, let me jump over to my creative world. I'll show it to you really fast, just a glimpse, and then we'll call this an episode. Alright, here we are in my creative world, and this is what we will be constructing. And I do have maybe a couple tweaks I might change to it. I think the outside pillars needed to go a little more. They originally have been part of the walls. And my initial design had to change because some of the redstone I used inside for 2 of my initial puzzles I've already done required more space. So that's some of that's going to tweak a little bit. But like I said, there's already 2 puzzles in there. One of them has a puzzle that you need to solve to open up a secret door to get upstairs to the 2nd level, which has another puzzle which you have to open or solve to open another secret door down here, and that takes you down into the tunnel, which begins our thrill ride, our Indiana Jones-esque ride on the way to the actual base. So that is what we're going to be doing in our next episode. We're going to be constructing this first, and then I don't think we'll have enough time to really get into the actual tunnel. That'll be future episodes, but I'm really excited in the prospect of this challenge. I've done complicated stuff and large stuff, but this I think is probably going to be test me the most of anything I've done up to this date. This is definitely an extreme build, and I'm definitely looking forward to the challenge, and I'm hoping things turn out pretty good. So with that, I'm going to thank you guys for watching me. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.